Hello, hello. Welcome to Roll for Bull. Oh my gosh, I love the layout. Holy gosh. Okay, I just saw that for the first time. Reed was talking about the work he put into this, and I knew it was good because it's Reed. I had no idea this is bonkers. Um, Things are different today. I am GM Ben Competence, and we are not running the Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. Uh, by absolutely no demand. We are switching over to a different system for a little while. Um, Essentially, we plan to do this kind of as a September event, but Jen, who plays Claire Rin, needed to go on the run for stealing government secrets. So we decided, hey, let's get started a little bit early. Here we all are. Welcome each and every one of you. This is not Dungeons and Dragons. This is not combat. This is not an epic life or death quest in that sense. We are running a brand new system, a brand new game called City of Mist. City of Mist is a modern crime drama with an overwhelming aura of magic and the unreal and the supernatural coursing through a city of sin. Our detectives today joining us will be introduced randomly. I will have each of the players introduce themselves, tell me their favorite crime mystery story, and then they will not introduce their characters for reasons that will become rapidly obvious. Let's start with Tammy.
Hi, I'm Tammy. I don't know what character I'm going to be playing for City of Mist. We will learn together tonight. And what would be my favorite crime drama book or show?
Any of it. Any of it.
Okay. Well, personally, Tammy right now has been reading from Ellie Griffith's The Ruth Galloway Mysteries. So I'm like hooked on those. I've been borrowing them from the library on ebook, those
Mhm.
that are available, and I'm like getting them done in like 2 days. So they're really
That's
good.
incredible. I like that. All right, I'm gonna pick one more, and we're gonna go with Allie.
Hi, I'm Allie. I don't. What else were we? Our name and our favorite crime drama, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was like, I feel like I don't have enough information to.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
I guess my favorite crime drama. I mean, the one that pops into my head is probably Castle.
Castle's a great one. Castle's a great one. Absolutely.
Watched it start to finish twice, and every time I'm a little disappointed when I get to the last season.
Is it bad? I haven't seen the last season.
It's not bad. It's just like there's a point at which like it very clearly they thought it was gonna end and it was like a very satisfying ending and then they had to like
Oh, like
ramp
the
it up.
supernatural
Anyway,
thing with
I'll
season
gossip
5.
with you about it later, but it there's a point at which I'm like, could have ended it there and it probably would have been okay.
There's a few shows that do that. How I Met Your Mother did that.
Mhm.
Supernatural did that. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a little bit when
Both
they're like,
shows that I
oh,
watched.
but money. Um, and then the last one is Reed.
Hey, that's me. I'm Reed.
Mhm.
I'm playing someone, and my favorite crime drama. I mean, I have a soft spot for Law and Order, even though it's like
Mhm.
full on propaganda. It was always what I
Mhm.
watched after school, just because it was one of the things that was on. So,
Yeah,
Detective Briscoe and all them.
yeah, absolutely. I know that there's all the politics of propaganda, and I am not really a cop supporter, but I don't think there's anybody in this American nation or Canada or anywhere else that doesn't just have an emotional reaction to dun dun. Like that is a
Yes.
thing. That is Pavlovian pop culture at this point. Um,
Hang on. Hang on. I gotta be that person. Does
well,
Psych count? Because if
yeah,
Psych
like I said,
counts,
like I told you guys, whatever you have to, if you have to ask if it counts, it does.
it occurred to me. It occurred to me. It came to me in a dream.
Excellent.
Sorry,
Um,
I fully changed
no,
the
it's fine.
subject, but
It's
I
fun. I don't know what my favorite crime drama would be. I there is an anime that I mentioned earlier by coincidence called Case Closed, which was really fun when I was younger to watch. Um, oh no, Poker Face. Poker Face on Peacock is fucking phenomenal, and everyone should watch it. Um,
Okay.
so what was I gonna say? I got a ping from somebody. Okay. So the game that we're running today, or planning for, is called City of Mist. Y'all are in for a treat because prior to starting any campaign, there's always what's called a session zero, where the players get together and plan and figure out what's going to happen before it really does. Ground rules, safe words, things like that. And I think, and the group was kind enough to agree, I think that the session zero for this game is fun enough that it merits its own stream. So let me explain the premise to the players and the audience alike. This game takes place in modern day. Takes place in the city. What city? You know the city where everything happens. The crime, the ambition, where people go to realize their dreams and where they stay when their dreams are broken and they're settled into sadness in the rain. It's the tall towers, the buildings of the haves who look down on the streets of the have-nots. It is neon and hope and shouting and despair. It's Gotham City, it's Metropolis, it's New York, it's Los Angeles. It's everywhere that anything happens. Everyone knows the name of it, so they simply call it the city. The city has running through it a mist. A mist that most people think to ignore, don't even consider. They should, because within that mist is every myth and fiction that has ever existed. Every urban legend, every religion, every horror story, every campfire tale, every children's nursery rhyme, every book in the library exists within the mist. And the mist is curious about this world, and it wants to experience this world. In order to do so, it needs to find someone or something that it can find the same frequency on and form a rift. The myths find a person, place, or thing that connects with them, and then infuse that thing with the power that they have. There's an opera house at the edge of town where you hear organ music playing and the chandelier crashed some time ago, and people know not to go there. They don't ask why, they just don't. There's a street gang in the main park with a young man who has a policy about what crimes to do to the rich and how to treat the poor. There's a nightclub downtown, ironically called Hades, just a name, yet people never seem to want to leave. And there are three people who have been infused with the myths, touched by the stories, and awakened. They notice. They think to ask. And with these gifts, they will solve the crimes of the city. Those are our three lovely contestants today. Because in City of Mist, you do not choose a character class, you do not choose your stats. Hell, you don't have hit points. Instead, you choose a character that is part logos, the logic, the human, the mundane, and the mythos, the magical, the supernatural, the unreal, the larger than life. And you fuse them together. Now, a person isn't half and half of those most of the time. They can be someone mostly logical, with just magic out of the corner of their eye. They could be someone so flowing with magic they barely hold on to what it means to be human. But these two things need to coexist. If you're pure logos, you don't see the magic in the world. And if you're pure mythos, you are so infatuated with the telling of your own story that you lose touch with reality and any human boundaries. So you are both. I will need each of you, over time, to select any work of fiction you want. No limits. You're going to ask me if I'm serious about this and if X applies, and I'm going to tell you right now. I am serious, and that character's allowed, whatever you're thinking. a mythos, and a logos that fuses with them. I've seen a few characters before. My wife had a character that was an Instagram influencer and Bloody Mary. I had a player in another group that was the city coroner and Victor Frankenstein. I made someone, let's see, who else have I seen before? A lounge singer and Bast. A getaway driver, and Baby New Year. Very unusual character concepts because they're just gone in a moment. So the first thing we're going to do before we discuss any game mechanics is we're going to pitch ideas for fiction on this. Rose Gamerbot already says weirdo college student with Phantom of the Opera.
Big
So
incel
I'm gonna-
energy.
I love that. I'm going to pick one of you on the spot to say an idea. And the reason I'm putting you on the spot with little warning is because I want you to be out of the comfort zone of having to have a right or polished answer with this. This is the brainstorming, and you could just say something. And don't worry about what everyone else is playing because this game doesn't deal with support and healing and team synergy. If your character's fun to play, you have a good character. I rolled Tammy. Tammy, give us a couple thoughts. What are a few things that you're thinking? If you don't have anything, that's fine, but throw out what you got.
Nope. Kind of a professional organizer, like thinking Marie Kondo. And I was thinking with a little bit of a Loki, the trickster god vibe.
Trickster got so order and chaos.
Oh my god, I never thought of it that way, but yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, that'll be fun.
Okay, that's good. Scribble that down as a note or put that down somewhere. None of you are obligated to any of these characters. In fact, I want to say right here and now that even though we're doing this on the stream, this is, again, I want to remind you, your group, not the audience's. Get away, audience. We love you. You can change your character as much as you want, and you can show up next week with whatever concept you want. Only the thing I want the audience to see is just what making characters is like. It's not you are not forming a contract with them. I'm gonna roll one more die. Reed, hit me with anything.
I haven't really come up much with a logos, but since we started talking about this, I've been spitballing around the idea of like the mythos surrounding the automotive, like roads and cars and traffic, and sort of like that urbanization.
The romanticization of the automobile, like the Route
Yeah.
66 and all that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking maybe long haul truck driver.
Okay, that's interesting. I've never seen. Oh, I do like abstract concepts like that because I got someone before who previously played the narrative archetype of the gambler. I might want to whittle it down to you might want to get it down to like a couple words, but I like the idea. If you can summarize it in like 2 or 3 words, I'm interested. I like this. Actually, you know what? No, hold on to it. Hold on to that. We'll come back. I can make that work. We can make that work. Ellie, what you got?
Literally no concrete ideas, but
Okay.
in just like brainstorming, I was thinking maybe a Shakespeare character would be fun.
Okay.
Maybe Lady Macbeth,
Okay.
but I do not know what the logos would be for that. I mean, I feel like socialite would be too literal,
Be literal.
but I don't want to be literal.
All right. Lady Macbeth. Okay. Well, I want to emphasize the reason I appreciate you do things is that I want to emphasize that they're not really bad ideas. This game is sillier and more beautiful than anything, and character creation on it is my favorite thing. Shakespeare idea. Okay. These Gamerbot seems to like it, and I appreciate Gamerbot. They are a tastemaker. So here's my next question. So Tammy, organizer. Okay. So let's go through the order again of Tammy, Reed, and Allie just to try something out here. On each of you, I'm gonna change something on the page. I'm gonna move you guys on the Roll20 map to a sample page of what a character looks like in City of Mist. Now, some of these words are going to be deliberately hard to read. That's by design from the creators of the game. But
Should
it
I
should
bring
show
that
you.
up for the audience as well?
Yes. Let me see how that looks. So in a minute, you're going to see a character. There it is. Let's put it there. I think that'll center it better. You have the character Scarlet, who is basically a college wallflower and Red Riding Hood. She is a crime solver, like they all are. Now, in this game, you'll see on the side that there are little columns of descriptions of the character. 2 of them are purple and 2 of them are orange. The purple are the mythos. These represent things that the character can do because of their Red Riding Hood abilities. You can see that one of them is innocuous threat magic that allows them to blend into the background or be underestimated. Red Hood, other resourcefulness, and abilities that she had, someone who is loved and protected. And then on the other 2, she has the young love and the wallflower, aspects of her personality from her logo side. In City of Mist, when you make a character, you choose categories that describe aspects of the character's being. And then you just, let me gather my thoughts on that. And then you sort of will list down abilities within it. So, like, if you had someone who was Poseidon, you might have, like, God of the Sea might be one, and then you could have, like, controls oceans, controls storms, things like that. And then you have another one might be like, horse guy, turns into horses, things like that. So for each card, you have a list of things that they can possibly do. Let me see one moment. So I want you guys to decide, first things first, Tammy, how many of your cards are going to be Mythos and Logos? Logos cards, I want to clarify, are skills that help you navigate the world, talk to people, solve mysteries, have social connections, get by. All of these are valuable. Like I said, if you only have one, if you only have lean into one side of the card, you're not going to be able to function. So what's your ratio of mythology to logic?
Well, I want to be able to, like, think logically in order to be organized and be able to prioritize properly, so that I can make, like, the day-to-day function, the day-to-day decisions work. And then just throw in a bit of, like, absolute craziness that has no place being here right now, just randomly.
Okay.
So basically equally both, like 50-50.
50-50. Okay. So I'm gonna put in the chat for the Roll20 for us, because this might actually fit better in there. Each of the cards has to fit a category. You're doing great, by the way. This is fantastic. Each card has to fit a category, and then that category sort of describes what the card is for. Allow me to move you guys to a new screen to give an example. This will make sense in a second. But oh wait, what is it doing here? Nope, that's not the blank. That's the blank card. Let's say your character, well, your character of Loki is a trickster. So we'll go to adaptation. This is one example of what your character can do. A Mythos theme book. So adaptation is anything that is unexpected or changing to meet the situation. It can be just like controlling natural elements that come around you, shape-shifting, knowing general magic, things like that. Adaptation, just generally being able to meet the unexpected. So you might say that one of your abilities, adaptation, would be ever-changing chaos or something like that. Does that make sense? So you'd make like one Mythos card that says adaptation, and then it's called adaptation, and then the name of it is ever-changing chaos or something like that.
Okay.
And then there's, for another example, there's a mythos called Bastion, which just represents a character's ability to not die. Whether that's incredible willpower or the fact that they are uh, a stone or something like that. There's different concepts. Um, as well, there are theme books for your logos. Some of them might be a defining relationship. Something the logos themes, the mythos themes are what can you do as a magical thing. The logos themes are basically how would you introduce yourself? Defining relationship, you know. I'm married. I'm very proud of my wife. Personality, you are always the kindest person in your group, as an example, something like that. Um, Routine, you do your job, you're very good at your job, you're very proud of how good you are at your job. That sounds like it could actually fit your character.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or training, you have a very particular set of skills. Um, I will send you guys the list of theme books, their names, in the our private Roll20, our private Discord, and then later, once we come back, once I loop around to y'all, we can discuss them more in depth. And one of y'all message me?
Not me.
Okay, no.
No, you messaged us.
That's a good point. Reed,
Yeah.
what would your ratio be?
That's tricky to say. I kind of want to go heavy on like the mythos, so like maybe 3-1.
Okay. And Allie.
Well, I'll probably change the concept I want to go with, but to stick with what I already said, I would probably do the inverse of Reed.
1 and 3 and 1. The audio's not as loud as it usually is. Is it because of the different system? Reed, Tammy's mom's saying the audio's.
Yeah, I've already upped it.
Oh, okay. Tammy, let us know if it's different. Reed worked 37 miracles today, and it appears the 38th one is on its way. Because he's done incredible building. I appreciate it. So, Allie, you said you were thinking of changing things. You can change as much as you want. You have a whole new concept. Hit me with what you got.
Not yet, but I don't have enough fleshed out to really feel strongly about anything yet.
Okay. That works for me. So, let's see. We have these theme books. I guess. Do you guys want to discuss picking theme books right now, or do you want to know the basic gameplay mechanics? I'd be glad to show you either.
I think I'd go with gameplay, and then that'll give sort of an idea as to what we can do with these things.
1 second. Yeah. So let's see. So the gameplay of City of Mist is very interesting because like I said, there is no health, there's no stat numbers per se. There are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 moves in the game that your characters can do regularly. Everybody can do them. The only limit is your imagination. Essentially, in the game, at any point when you want to do something, more or less you do it, we role play it. But if there's a bit of ambiguity or you want to infuse a little bit of your specialty into it, you roll a 2d6, 2 6-sided dice. And on your character sheet, you'll see that we're creating a list of notes about what your character can do. Everything that's relevant to what your character can do, to the stat, gives you little boosts. So let's say with the Poseidon one again, you wanted to knock somebody over with a tidal wave. You could say, I'm using my, God of the Ocean ability. I'm rolling 2d6 plus 1 for God of the Ocean. And then you roll that and you get the result to see how well you do. That's it. So, let me show you something. This is the list of moves. It appears hideously on this page, and I am sorry about that. It does not look good on the stream. That's on me. That's not on Reed. Don't you look at Reed. He's a saint of a man. I fucked this up. Um, Tammy's mom, is the audio better this time? Is it better at all?
Well, it's not
We'll see.
playing right now, so
What is not playing?
there's
Music.
no
The
music.
music?
Music stopped.
Not on my side it didn't, so if you're not hearing music, that's the problem.
Oh, it
there
just kicked
picked
in.
up again.
Yeah, it's been
I
playing
al-
for me this whole time.
It has been. It
it-
just stopped like 30 seconds before you said.
Mhm.
That's odd. We're
It might have
professionals.
just been a quiet part of the audio, like the audio itself had a dead spot.
I also told
Okay.
her she needs to get a pair of headsets, a good headset to just listen.
That's fair. So, in City of Mist, every single thing that's a factor into what you're doing is called a tag, power tag. And the power tag can be on your sheet as a listed part of your stats, or it can be a factor into what you do. If you control vines and you want to hit somebody with vines, you're using the power tag vines. Does that make sense? Are you with me on this? If you want to use the vines to pick up a frying pan and hit somebody with the frying pan, that frying pan is a tag. That's 2 tags, baby. So you can use those, factor that in to your rolls. Everything that's a factor in what you're doing is a tag. Tags can be introduced into scenes because they can be redeemed later. Let's say, for example, Reed's character is a blacksmith. I'm making this up on the fly. Let's say Reed has, I don't know, a god of the forge called Vulcan as his mythos.
What a
And he uses
idea.
his ability, he decides to use his magic and create a sword on the fly. That sword is now a power tag that exists in the scene, and anybody else can invoke it and say that they're using it. So basically, a power tag is anything that you can interact with that helps you out with what you want to do. All inventory in the game, all items are replaced with the concept of tags. Does this make sense so far?
I think so.
All right. Allie, how you feeling? All right. Tammy, sorry. So, when you want to do a move in this game, let's start with change the game as a game mechanic. Change the game is an ability where you quite literally alter the circumstances of what's going on in any way that fits your character. Let's say Tammy's character creates chaos, and I'm making something up. Tammy's character wants to basically change up and down and left and right as a trick with Loki. She can use change the game and basically try and roll to put a status on everybody, or to put a tag in the room that's called disoriented room or something like that. Create that and put that tag there, and then people can invoke it. Let's say someone else wants to use that sense of disorientation to confuse the enemy and land a blow. Tammy creates this strange sense of direction, creates a tag in the room, and then on someone else's turn, Reed's turn, it's Vulcan the blacksmith, which we all know Reed's playing. Reed can say, I'm going to hit him with all I got. That's the attack move. And he says, I'm going to take advantage of this confusing room, and I'm going to wall up them because it makes sense to me, but not to them. And he's going to invoke the power tag of that room being changed and hit them. So changing the game allows you to create things. Also, characters have statuses. A status describes the current changing state of a person, such as confused, injured, enamored, overly trusting. Anything that can shape how a person acts as a status. And if any status gets high enough, it can bench your character. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is statuses go on a scale of 1 to maybe 8. At 1 through 4, they can affect your rolls. If it's good, it boosts your roll. If it's bad, it hurts your roll. At 5, your character is no longer usable. At 6, your character is no longer playable. They're gone. They're done. So Tammy, again, I'm using it because you have the trickster one. Tammy might fight a person and might invoke their mind or overflow their mind with chaos and just completely destroy their ability to focus on what they're doing and put a status of confusion on them. Not a tag in the room, but a status on them. And she might put it up to 3 to 4 to 5. Tammy's vicious, you know. She's a relentless motherfucker. And she puts this on somebody. When the status gets too high for them to take, in this hypothetical character's case, the threshold is 5. They are so overwhelmed with confusion that they can't process what's going on. They're worthless. They can't defend themselves. They surrender, or they fall, or they're whatever. This is why you don't need a hit gauge in this game, because when someone's hit their limit, you never know what it's going to be, but they're done. Hell, if you're a charmer, a seductress, a siren, a literal mermaid, you could fill someone's status with trusting you to a level 5, and then they'd lose the will to fight you. Hell, maybe they're on your side now. Maybe you have an ally. So, statuses and tags. You don't do hit gauges. You put tags in the room to help you. Statuses to measure how overwhelmed a person is or how boosted they are. So you can change the game to create these things. You can hit it with all you've got, another tag on there, just to punch a motherfucker. That one's real straightforward. Convince, blackmail them. I'll go into that one later. Maybe I'll teach that one during the game. Go toe-to-toe is a big old arm wrestle match. It could be physical, it could be metaphorical. Let's say Tammy and Reed are arguing over what to have for dinner tonight. They're both gods. It's a big deal. And Tammy uses her chaotic wordsmithery, and Reed, blacksmith that he is, argues with logic and fury. And they both roll, and they go toe-to-toe. Doesn't Vulcan. Well, what would be Vulcan? Anger and bitterness and pettiness and also confusion. They both invoke their tags in going toe-to-toe, and whoever rolls higher is the one that won out. This could be a social role, an argument. This can be arm wrestling, a physical match. Going toe-to-toe is any test of wills between two people. As you can see, you don't need to quantify the strength of things too much because you're just giving boost to these rolls. Lastly, and the most importantly, perhaps, is investigation. This is a mystery game. I'm going to give you guys mysteries, murders, crimes, scandals. If you investigate, you roll 2d6 and anything that would help you investigate. And depending on how right you are, you can ask me any question you want about the current situation, and I have to answer you. But I answer you through what's available on the scene, what's context. So let's say that Allie's Lady Macbeth character that I'm just picking on here because I picked on Tammy way too much, is speaking to some people, talking to some people, and they're holding back on things. And Allie says, you know what? My character knows sin. My character knows betrayal. I want to investigate, but I want to see into the hearts of these people. And she uses her supernatural cunning and diplomacy and two-faced nature to understand what's going on in their mind. She gets 3 successes and can ask me 3 questions about what these people are really thinking. Now, I'm not going to tell her things those characters don't know. And I'm not going to tell her those things that those characters would rather die than say. But she gets 3 pieces of information this way. This method allows you to push through the story and find the answers you need. Are these rules making sense to you guys? Do you have any questions so far?
How do the dice rolls come into it?
When you want to do one of these moves, you take 2 6-sided dice, and on your sheet you will eventually have a list of things your character can do. You invoke as many of those as we agree on, whichever traits help you out. Being a god of the forge might not help you know what's going on in the minds of men, but being able to intimidate people with your curmudgeonly old man to speak could. And you take, let's say you get a 1 bonus fat, say roll 2d6 plus old man speak is 1. You roll those dice, and the higher rolls you get, the more control you get over your result, over the fallout of the action. You're not trying to hit a target number per se. Well, let me back up. If you hit a 7 through 9 with your total, you succeed in a narratively interesting way. There could be some backlash. Maybe if you're investigating and you get your clues, you get answers, but also they know to look into you now. And they're kind of curious about who's asking so many questions. If you get a 6 or below, you failed and it went wrong. Maybe these guys don't like that Lady Macbeth Allison is poking around. Maybe it's time Lady Macbeth Allison gets out of here. Sorry, Lady Macbeth Allison. If you get a 10 or above, you get a very clean, excellent success that purely goes in your favor, and I lose the ability to fuck you over with it. Maybe these people are easily read by Lady Macbeth Allison, scared by her, and turn over their answers. So 7 to 9 is the average success. 10 or above is wonderful. 6 and below is very bad for you. Does that answer your question?
I think so.
I'm having
Tammy, how are you feeling
flashbacks
about
to
this?
the last time we played this, and everything I tried went wrong.
Yeah.
I played one session with Allie before, and this was before I knew a lot of the rules. So I did a lot of just go with it. It'll be fine. And
It was not.
it was
It
okay.
went great for everyone else I played with. It was just me who rolled like shit.
Yeah. So now you know the rules, the premise of how the die rolls work. The reason you're filling out your theme books is because those are the lists. You're green on a list of things you can invoke for the scenes you want to do things with. For the scenes you want to create, what kind of moments you want to have. Changing the game is, of course, creating new objects and factors in a situation. So maybe someone might want to be the god of a satyr and be able to use this and create vines and trees and plants and stuff, or dryad, and be able to create vines and plants and stuff like that would change the game. Maybe someone is a shadow of judgment, a grim reaper, a revenant, and they want to be able to investigate into the hearts of people. Does anybody feel ready to pick a theme book or two so we can go through how that would work? If so,
maybe.
feel free to speak up.
Maybe.
All right. Reed said maybe. Tammy nodded her head. I'm going to roll a 1d2.
Quick question.
Yes.
As I'm kicking around other ideas in my head,
Mhm.
how okay are we with like other media? Because the whole streaming.
I'm sorry. You were quiet on the last part.
The whole streaming thing. Like, should I pick something that's like open domain, public source? I assume.
No, I really, really doubt that we're going to get copyrighted by anybody.
Okay. Good. I figured. I just want
I
to
want your
ask
mythos to be
before.
Mickey Mouse now because I want to find out something real fast.
Fuck Disney.
Huh? Time to look into the sins of man. Oh boy.
Works well with those ears.
You're kind of.
That's because I'm an officially licensed Disney representative, and I speak for Disney when I say that Mickey Mouse would solve murders just okay.
Oh gosh.
Flip it! We're losing the channel. Reed, do you want to work on the logos or mythos side of your character first?
I think the mythos is bigger, so we'll go with that.
Okay, I put in a list of themes in the channel. All of them have a background on Roll20, so I'll take them to whichever one you want.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to start with?
I was thinking possibly mobility.
Okay, let's go over to mobility. What's your character concept again?
Well, I was throwing around sort of like the automotive, but actually I think I'm gonna tighten that up. I'm gonna be like a manifestation of the mythos of the city.
Wait, hold on. You want to be the city itself?
Yeah.
You want to be the city in City of Mist?
Why not?
A lot of reasons.
Does anyone else go to stores with like names in the title and be like, for example, like, oh my god, are you Sherwin of Sherwin Williams? Because that's how I feel about what Reed's doing right now. She's like, oh my god, are you the city of City of Mist?
My wife just came out of the bedroom just like laughing. I think she's watching this in the room, so she's laughing. Okay, so Reed wants to be the city. Okay, hit me, hot shot. What would your theme books be? I want to test this theory. If you could, I'm gonna be open-minded as hell.
I'm thinking
Sell
mobility, bastion, and divination being
No,
the
no.
three, just based off of what I've
How
seen.
would you describe them? Like, what would you name the mobility theme card?
Mobility
If you could name it,
would be point A to point B, always knowing the fastest way from one space
Point A
to
to point B for mobility. Okay,
yeah.
write it down. Okay, and the second one's bastion. What's bastion in this? Now, for the
just
viewers, as a reminder, bastion is just any ability that like makes it hard for you to fall.
Yeah, so call it these tough streets. It's just tough as the physical concrete and rebar and steel of the city.
City isn't even a myth in City of Mist. In City of Mist, the city is real.
Yeah, but the city always, it's the Big Apple. It's Chicago. It's,
So it is the belief. It is the general mythological love of cities, the personification of cities that people tend to ascribe to their big cities.
yeah. It's
Oh,
like,
fuck you. Okay, so what's the third theme?
uh,
I'm so glad we're doing this live, so everybody gets to see what I put up with.
divination would be, got your finger on the pulse of the heartbeat of the city. I know what's going on here. I know what's going on in these mean streets.
So the city itself knows what's going on in the city.
Yeah, like the physical aspect, the currents, the push and pull of traffic, and the flow of how things are going.
I'm gonna hold a poll in the chat right now. 1 second.
It's just gonna be yes or no. Is Reed full of bullshit?
Close.
You gotta fight fire with fire, so.
Times were tough in the city, you see.
Hold on. I'm gonna. Oh, fuck you. My wife just came in and just showed me something. Okay, My wife just came in and showed me. I'm so glad we're doing this live. Just showed me. In Marvel Comics, after Luke Cage retired the name of Power Man, the name was kind of up for grabs, and it was given to a young man named Victor Alvarez, who you might know on the Young Avengers. He is a hero who has sort of that chi martial arts power, but the thing is, his chi comes from the power of the people that he cares about, and in times of incredibly great stress and focus and calling, he can actually channel his love of New York City into it, and he actually is infused with the collective power of New York City when he fights. And my wife just came in and showed me that as her argument in support of Reed.
I'm not even the first one to have this idea. Come on.
No. You can have it. You can have it.
Awesome!
The divination seems surprised. I've got a square. I'm legit might push back on the divination, but I overall really like this. I just hate you. So for the Logos theme book, what would your Logos theme be? Okay, now people in the chat saying Ricky Matsui and Kingston Brown. I can't. Reed's got it. Reed can be the city. He's got the
Just
power of the
generic
people on
people.
his side. Like,
Just
there are
generic folks in the chat.
Yeah, just
No, I'm saying he said this, and there are multiple people from all around. My wife is coming over here. The people in the street. If the city can come together to support Reed on this, then I don't have an argument. So Reed, what is your Logos theme book?
it's a little hard to say because what I'm seeing here, we've got a couple of different things, but they're not super specific. I'm thinking routine.
Okay. Well, let's
I
start with
just-
this. Well, let's start with this. What's the Logos? What is the person that has been rifted with, that has been received the myth of the city?
Yeah, I kind of want to do like the beat cop sergeant or the detective. Just
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing because it was in my head, and I knew you were going to do it. You're doing Dragnet, aren't you?
no.
This is the city.
I have never watched Dragnet. I hate
Oh,
to...
it's the original crime noir drama on TV, and every episode opened with an overhead shot of Los Angeles and this detective, this beat cop going, "This is the city, Los Angeles," and it always comes in. And it's a very famous like moment at this point. So I thought that's what you were doing.
Yeah,
So you want to be a beat cop?
yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, cops are not gonna be good guys in my world building, so you'd be like notably the exception in the canon.
Yeah,
That's fine. I
I
just
don't
want
know.
to tell you,
Yeah, no, yeah.
you went for you went
Be the
from
lowly tech support worker.
you went from I know that Law and Order can be propaganda, but to how
Yeah,
about I'm a heroic cop? Like
I know,
the turnaround was remarkable.
I know.
Um,
Because the other alternative I was thinking was cab driver, like
cab driver works.
your average cabbie.
I have a
Very
player in
much.
another campaign. You go on.
I was just gonna say, very much sort of fits into that kind of, you know, knows the
Mhm.
streets, knows what's
What's
here.
going on? Hmm.
Yeah,
I that works for me. Cab driver works really, really well actually.
The jungle daddy.
I have a player in another group that's a cab driver and Pac-Man. It's
I can see it.
fucking phenomenal. Okay, so you want to be a cab driver. Okay, see, so that's how we go back to the logos. So that might be a routine of doing your job every day as a cab driver, is your primary identity. The thing is, if you are one logos and three mythos, then you don't focus on a lot of your personal life has stopped being as important to you. That's what that means. You don't have
Yeah,
because a normal person has four logos. So what is the one thing that like keeps you grounded in reality at this point?
yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Would be sort of like I'm just out there on the streets, not making enough money to get through my day to day life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I think that would make sense to me
Okay.
as being the
Um.
routine.
All right. That then you have your four theme cards. I might come back to some of these later, but the number of people that listed examples about why you should be the city, including Lady Macbeth Allison, I don't I can't refute that. You're going on break. We're going over to Tammy. You're grounded. Tammy, Tamison Loki Kondo.
Hmm.
Just checking in. I like the character, but because everyone has the rights to reform as much as they want, are you still thinking that concept or have you thought about
Yep.
something else?
Nope.
Still thinking that concept.
Nope.
All
Yep.
right. So you wanted 50-50. Do you have
Hmm.
any idea what you would want one of the theme books to be for either Mythos or Logos? Where do you want to start?
I like the one where you had said the adaptation, like the
Mm-hmm.
ever-changing chaos. I wrote that one down. I think, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely go with that. For the logos, I think I would stick with routine.
Mm-hmm.
That one, the order, make sure do things the right way to make it efficient and everything. Don't skip a
Mm-hmm.
step or anything like that.
So you have routine is Logos, adaptation is Mythos. Okay.
Yep. So I still need one more of each.
Can I
Um,
recommend Subversion for Mythos?
yeah.
Subversion
Oh,
is. Oh, sorry. Let me bring you the Subversion page, and you'll see why I don't
okay.
want to cut you guys off, but I think when you see it, you'll immediately get why I'm saying that. It should change. Subversion is just the collective
Mm,
description of being able to catch somebody off guard by doing the unexpected.
mm. That seems to definitely fit really well.
Hmm.
Yep.
And that can be anything from trickery magic to just being more clever than people, like being, I don't know, a mastermind that brought down kingdoms and political figures with your scheming and ability to manipulate your husband.
Mm-hmm.
Um, mhm.
Yep. Absolutely. Sure. That works
So
for me.
subversion. So you have subversion and adaptation. That's a terrifying combo. You have routine. What is something else your character has? As a logos, there's relationships, events, a mission in life, a personality trait, a possession, or special training you have. By the way, anyone that's watching, if you have any thoughts on this, questions
Yeah.
about the rules, ideas for characters, throw them
Mhm.
out there because I'm loving chatting. Mhm.
Um, I am not sure. Just I honestly have no other idea. Um, I guess because I'd be wanting my character to have that absolute, almost neurotic level of order.
Okay,
Definitely
yeah.
be a perfectionist, kind of have to have my own way. I
Mhm,
don't want to do it any other way. I don't know
mhm.
how that would fit in one of those theme books.
Personality works. Personality works as a perfectionist.
Personality? Okay,
Mhm.
let's do
Yeah,
it.
if a personality trait is so crucial to who you are that it influences what you bring to the table, which it sounds like this is.
Yep. What a dichotomy here.
Mhm.
Wow, this will be interesting.
This is I've I don't, if you guys have ever if anyone's ever worked with me, these players have heard me 1,000 times. I genuinely think that making characters in City of Mist is my favorite thing to do in tabletop games. Absolutely, bar none. Um, so Allie, I don't want to put any pressure on you. How are you feeling? Do you have any ideas what you want to do with the character right now? If you don't, that's fine.
Okay, so we're supposed to be the good guys, right?
You guys need to be good guys that are investigating crimes and solving them. Now, you can have a villainous mythos and just solve crimes for whatever reason you want.
Okay. I'm like tinkering with a couple of other ideas just because I don't. Like, Lady Macbeth is a very recognizable figure, but I don't know Macbeth very well. So I'm trying to think of things that I know a little bit better in terms of like stories or myths or legends, and I'm
Favorite TV
it's
show?
funny. As much as you enjoy making these, I hate it because I feel like there's too many choices. Like, I feel like I am lost in a sea of options and there is no right answer, and it stresses me out.
I
Favorite
want to
TV
do
show?
it all.
Huh?
What's your favorite
You
TV
want to
show?
do it all.
What's my favorite TV show? I don't think I have one.
Sure you do. What are you watching right now?
Well, right now I'm watching Alias, but that's not my favorite TV show.
What
And
would you
that's,
recommend
like-
me to watch?
That's
If I had a show that, if you had a show,
Good
if I
Omens. You know this about
Okay.
me.
Okay.
You were leading
Perfect.
me there, and I am an idiot because I think of it as a book and not a show.
I literally wasn't leading you there because I didn't have an answer in mind. That's a Rorschach
Oh.
test on your.
I've
That
been
is an ink
harassing
blot.
you about it, so I just assumed.
That's an ink blot test on your part to think that I'm leading you there.
All roads
Okay.
lead to Good Omens.
Yeah, Good Omens. You've been telling me that's one of your favorite things. Okay. Which character is your favorite in Good Omens?
That is a trick.
Okay, I'm gonna commission art for one character for you.
No!
Who do you pick?
There's
Who do you
two,
pick?
and you can't separate them.
You need them both, yes.
Okay, then be them
Order
both.
and chaos.
Then be them both. Reed is the fucking city. You want to ask me if you could be two mythos?
Okay, I'll tell you what I've been kicking around, and you can tell me, because I was trying to think of fairy tales that I like, because I felt like fairy tales are pretty simple.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Coraline?
Oh.
Yes, I know Coraline.
Are you going to be the other mother?
That's why I asked if we were supposed to be the good guys.
Yeah, you can be a villain. Okay, let me give you guys some examples of what I have in my Friday group, so that you guys have an idea of what I'm allowing. Victor Frankenstein and a coroner, a mermaid / siren and a lounge singer, the bear Jew from Inglorious Bastards and a street punk, Sammy the demon from Bindi and the Ink Machine and a newspaper journalist. Reed's gonna kill me. Raccoon City itself and a former drug addict. Because he is not this city, but Raccoon City. And I think previously we had the coroner, Victor Frankenstein. What is word? Oh yeah. Anubis and a private detective. I have Pac-Man in another one. I have Bob the Builder in another one.
I'm tempted to try to make my original concept work from the last time
Okay.
we played. And
Here's
I
the thing.
kind of fumbled her.
Here's the thing I want to recommend for City of Mist for all three of you and for all of you watching at home. Do not try to make a cool character. Don't worry about making a cool character. Make an OC that you would feel like a total fucking nerd playing. Look at me right now. Look at me in the camera eyes. If I made a character, I could totally make the Riddler and a mathematician, and I'd rock that shit. This is to be this is to be a shameless self-insert OC that's very similar to your favorite character. You have my permission and my blessing. If you want to be the couple from Good Omens, and I don't know whatever rift
I
that
love
would
you
be,
so much. That's amazing.
go for. Yeah, Gemini, the lovers. Perfect. Perfect Zebulon was the Kabbalah in my last story, and it was incredible. Be the camera eyes. Be the camera eyes. I know he's referencing my video, but like honestly, I love that. Be the BTJ Eckelberg. I dare you.
Bring literature into this.
Great Gatsby like taught me how to appreciate symbolism.
See, Gamerbot gets me because I was literally thinking the other day about how the new character they introduced this season might be my favorite character in the entire show.
Who's the character?
Their name is Muriel.
Muriel. See, there you go. Yeah.
Just a
Muriel from Good-
precious angel baby.
Perfect Zebulon, thank you for coming here, by the way. You are wonderful. I'm glad you could be here for this. Gemini the Lovers is fantastic. Coraline, the other mother, is great. You guys have to solve crimes. You guys have to be, let's explain in Borderland terms. You don't need to be the good guys. You need to be the better guys. You should see the body count my group left on Friday when they figured out who did it. The police stopped investigating because there were so many dead bodies of criminals and the city was so corrupt, they just decided that they'd just write this off as a favor to the police. That is how that case ended. It was horrifying. What were you gonna say, Allie?
You showed us Red Riding Hood, right?
Mhm.
As like the sample. What?
Yes.
So that character's mythos is Little Red Riding Hood, right? Not the Big Bad Wolf.
Yes.
See, that's
You
where
could
I'm
be the Big Bad Wolf.
struggling.
You could be the Big Bad Wolf. I don't give a shit. I approve Lady Macbeth. Any thought that you shouldn't be the bad guy is in your head, I promise you. No one else is.
Well, what
I'm
I was
sorry,
trying to think of, like, would it be weird to make a Logos that was kind of like the character Coraline, but then have the mythos be the other mother?
I think it might be a little weird if you had a character that was a little bit villainous and a little bit unpredictable, but then you had a character, a Logos, that was like kind of good and heroic and kind of their opposite in ways. So while you think about that, Tammy, how is your Loki Marie Kondo character going right now?
Good.
Okay, cool. Glad to hear
They're
that.
happy with themselves.
I just had to check in on that real fast. Let's go back to Allie for no particular reason. Perfect Zebulon says, do the Three Musketeers instead of choosing Mythos. You can have Porthos and Athos. That is good. Quote Liz Lemon. That is solid.
Why'd you do like D&D? You are a D&D character, and all just
Be the
the
Mythos of
cheesiest.
Ballista.
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted, Allie. We can't hear that sass.
No. What if the mythos was the Dungeon Master?
I mean,
Yeah.
especially the one from the '80s cartoon.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, I'll think on it.
This is great. Do you want us to come back to you? I can
Too many
bully you some
choices.
more.
I have like 18 ideas now, and none of them are formed enough to make decisions.
Shout him out. Shout him out. Very seriously. Shout him out.
No! I have too much shame. Let me think.
Too much shame. Okay. Let me see. I'm planning to introduce a vampire ex-boyfriend in a later game. Maybe a werewolf biker. I'm writing my own adventure for this, and I had to step back because I had too many characters that were just self-service fan service characters that nobody else would even appreciate. I put secret world villains in this game, and if you can name a secret world villain besides Allie, who always hears my rants. So let's go. Let's stop bullying Allie, everybody.
Thank you.
You're being rude.
Bad.
I just
Yes,
had
Reader.
a terrible idea.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
Like,
Go with the Roman god Uranus. Just to constantly be... No! It's pronounced Uranus. Or Uranos if you want.
That's it. That's his quest. That's his quest in the city. All of them have a mystery, and his mystery is why do people keep saying it that way? Let's go back to Tammy. Tammy, you have a subversion, right? Let's start with subversion on Loki. Let's go there to how to write a card. So as you see on the card, Reed, can you scroll over on there so it shows just the concept and the questions on the right side? They might be a little fuzzy. I was trying to figure out the art on it. But anyway, read on the
Yeah.
camera. Can you move it so that it shows just the right half? All right, there we go. So there's going to be questions, Tammy, that you have to answer. And these questions will form the 3 sentences that describe what your character can do, right? So you have Loki, and you're doing subversion. You always have to answer question A. So question A for this one is, what is the principal ability you use to mask or hide your actions? So how do you specifically prevent people from seeing your tricks coming? Is it just hidden? Is it invisible magic? Is it that you are clever and do a lot of double talk, like you have beguiling tongue, or something like that, or maybe hypnotism? How do you prevent people from realizing that you're actually the one changing the game?
I like the idea of the hypnotism.
So you have hypnotic charms. So go over on your character sheet on the Roll20. You will see it says Tammy's character, and let me set your character right now so that they have the things that you said. Subversion, and you said adaptation. And then
Routine and personality.
Routine and personality. So under subversion, under power tag, right, I'll put for you hypnotic charms. That's the answer to one question. So you write that down for your power tag. Now you have a list of questions B through J, and I want you to pick 2 of those and provide answers for them. On the power tag list under the under subversion, you see on the page it says like so what do you use your power? How do you use your powers to distract others? I'll read you the questions. You tell me which 2 you want to answer.
Okay.
No wrong choices. How do you use your powers to distract others? What useful quality does your main effect have? What do you do best under the cover of secrecy? Who is most likely to fall prey to your subversive activity? How does operating secretly allow you to learn new information? Who are you in league with? What is unlikely to affect you thanks to your powers? What circumstances or conditions improve your ability to act undetected? What other tangential subversive power have you developed?
Right off the bat, I really like F. How does operating secretly allow you to learn new information?
Okay. What is the answer you got for that?
I think that. Ooh, I like that one. Sense one's darkest desires.
Okay. Now I want you to know, just as a reference, those are starting points, but you can write whatever the fuck you want there. But
Maybe not so much the darkest desires, but just
the medium darkest.
all the shades.
See, I like the idea that Tammy's going into these people's houses, organizing everything, and finding all of the skeletons in their closet.
Absolutely. Yes. Exactly.
Oh my god. I just realized you know, like you make characters in games and you don't realize how powerful they are until they get started. I'm realizing a character in a detective series who can go into a room and immediately know what's out of place. I am preemptively scared. I think Tammy has made a powerful character. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. I'm freaking out ahead of time.
That's okay. So yeah, maybe not so much to just sense one's darkest desires, but just sense one's desires or what is propelling them to either do what they've done or hide what they're hiding or be very upfront with what they're offering, like just to
So see their motivations.
detect thoughts. Yeah.
Detect. I swear, if each of you just did the myth of the bard, of the ranger, of the barbarian, I'd be like, hey. I mean, and that's allowed. Oh my god, Perfect Zebulon. Perfect Zebulon loves puns and is going to be doing them all the time, and I love and fear them for it. You have see their motivations, and you have an additional question. What's your third question?
Okay. I think I can weave in B, the how do you use your powers to distract others? With it kind of goes in with the hypnotic charms here of subversion, just to kind of have a hypnotic way of asking them, why are you doing things? Why have you put your books on the bookshelf this way? It should be done this way. But
Oh my gosh.
by their answer, I'm getting the information that I actually want as opposed to what they are wanting to tell me.
But being able to like understand, notice subtext, notice the, read the
But
subtext.
kind
you know.
of just the way that I'm asking them that question is kind of a way of hypnotizing them into just telling me what they normally otherwise wouldn't.
Okay, let me see how that works.
Mhm. And believe it or not, I had no idea what I was going to do with this.
Okay, so we'll say,
have something.
we'll say get them talking,
Mhm.
and that'll be it. Like you can get them to talk. Like you can supernaturally motivate people to want to have conversations with you.
Mhm.
Okay, that works.
Like in Lucifer, what is it you most desire?
Oh yes. So what is the other one? Adaptation, you said? So let's go to adaptation.
Yep.
You should be putting your books on the shelf with the spines to the wall so they look nice and consistent. Oh god.
The
So let's
spines
go-
to the wall? What kind of chaos is that?
This is what happens when Loki meets Marie Kondo.
And then you order them by size. Hello.
By the first
one of these
letter of
could
the
break
first
me.
word.
Oh God. Okay, Jim.
Okay, side note, have you guys seen any of the playlists?
Yes.
Have
Ineffable.
you seen? They released 2 more.
Oh?
Yeah, Muriel's is hello, 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 and and the other one is together.
Oh.
Allie,
What?
would it help you if I assigned you a mythos?
Maybe. Why?
Because you mentioned Good Omens when I asked you what your favorite story was, you thought I was leading you to say Good Omens. Then when Gamerbot said Muriel, you responded and said, "See, Gamerbot knows the characters that I like." Then you went quiet for 10 minutes and came back with news about the Muriel playlist. So I don't know a thing about
Be
Muriel.
another perky character. You don't want it. You don't want it.
I want you to be the character. City of Mist, I want you to be the character that you'll be excited to play. That is all I want. I don't want anything else.
All right, continue doing your thing. I'm gonna keep reading.
My thing is assigning you Muriel.
Not
Figure out
you.
Bitch, you have been talking to you right there. Gamatha. With your adaptation, the first question on the list is what mythos power allows you to respond differently to every situation? Would it just be chaos magic or trickery magic, illusion? Okay, I was about to give it like a really easy answer, then I gave like 3 of them, so I guess I see your confusion. I'm like, the
Say
answer is obviously A, B,
probably-
C, and E.
Definitely
I would
one
say
of those.
probably the chaos. Shut up, Reed.
So how does
Definitely
chaos
just the
magic work?
chaos. It's just in the sense of. Okay, hang on. Let me read this again. What mythos powers allows you to respond differently to every situation?
I was like, at first I was like, I wonder if I could even make a show out of making characters with people. And then like an hour and a half in, it's like, okay.
So then,
Ellie,
yeah,
read it.
Where are you guys seeing these questions? I'm trying to follow along,
Well,
and
they're on
I've
the
given up
map
trying to
for
find it on
Roll20.
my own.
They're on the map on Roll20.
On the map on Roll20, because I'm not. Am I crazy?
Are you not?
just
They're on
see
the second. They're on this. Drag the page. Look on the right-hand side and scroll down
oh
a
my
bit.
god. Okay, thank you. I thought. Okay, thank you.
The question that he's asking is section A.
Thank
Or question
you.
A. I would say that in this case here, what allows me to respond differently to every situation would be just the chaos aspect. I know the part of me that's logical, methodical, the Marie Kondo side should be this way, but chaos kicks in at that point. Can't control it because it's chaos. Hello. And then it kind of just shoots things in a different direction. Gets me thinking, well, about something completely different. Like, why are the grapes in the blue bowl instead of the gray bowl? Meanwhile, we're looking at something with like a knife and hidden in a bookcase kind of thing. So just
The
absolute
character's
chaos.
just gonna fucking body my mysteries. You're just gonna come in and just clothesline any puzzles I have. And I just,
Well, that'd be a change.
It's gonna be terrible. So, okay, the thing is, what I want to emphasize, and I just want to make sure we're on the same page, because I think we're on the same page, but I want to make sure that we are. Any of the questions that you're having, or answers you're giving, should be purely in the lens of Loki. The organizer aspect of your character shouldn't factor into your explanations at all. Because
okay, because it's the mythos.
yeah, because you're describing, because
Okay.
your answers fit fine. They do.
Mhm.
I don't regret any of your answers, but I noticed that you've been explaining the logos aspect of in your explanations.
Okay.
So I just want to say the answer should be independent of that.
Then just yeah, again, I'm just gonna keep it as the chaos. It's just
Chaos magic, yeah. So that's question A. So I'm going to give you a series of questions, and you can choose two to answer. What narrow group of effects within your mythos' domain have you mastered? Next question. What specific manifestation of your mythos is your favorite? Next question. What circumstances enhance your ability to adapt? Next question. What situations do you have a quick solution for or are accustomed to? Next question. Who the fuck picks an entire city as their mythos, and how has it happened to me twice? Next question. What do your powers naturally protect you from? What attitude or emotion lies at the core of your adaptive powers? What attitude or emotion, yes. What specific class of things or beings can you produce or summon? And yes, you can summon allies, any of you, at a moment's notice, and they can follow you along. You can do anything. What strategy or combination of effects do you employ in battle? How can you enhance or weaken others with your powers? Which of these questions speaks to you, Tamsin the Great?
Gee. What attitude or emotion lies at the core of my adaptive powers? Absolute fucking nosiness.
Oh my god.
I just want to know. I don't necessarily need to know. I just fucking want to know.
Absolute nosiness. As a mythological level of nosiness.
Why not?
Yeah, but this is supposed to be Loki, not Tammy.
Well, I put a lot on myself in my characters. You know this. Because I use what I know.
Alright. Tammy, what's the next question you want to answer? Have two people chosen cities on me now.
I mean, you'll get used to it eventually.
What I need is a team up. city-powered people.
I think I would go with I. What strategy or combination of effect would I employ in the battle? And I kind of really like that first one there, deflect and dazzle. That, yes, I think that perfectly sums it up. I don't think I would need to elaborate more.
Mhm.
Just deflect what it is that they're trying to throw back at me, dazzle them enough to confuse them into giving me what it is I want.
Okay. Deflect and dazzle. You have your 3 tags for both of your mythos. Now, Tamison, we're not done yet with your sheets because we'll have to do logos, of course, but for all of these, we also have to do your weakness. Your weakness gives you penalties to your rolls anytime that it would come up, but also you get experience points for invoking your weakness. We'll have to address those soon. But first we're gonna come over and if the game was called Wombats of Mist, you'd be up to your elbows in marsupials. I'm sorry, I'm just frozen on how right that is. Like, I'm sort of lost on this because I'm like, yeah, there would be a marsupial. It's just a true statement. Like, it's true. Reed,
Yes.
did we pick out what mythos did we pick out for your character?
We had gone mobility, bastion, and divination, which you said big question mark beside.
I'll give it to you.
And I'm thinking private eye. That way, you evoke that 1950s, noir pulp hero, which
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of.
Dragnet. Oh no, wait, that's
Dragnet
Columbo. You
was
did Columbo.
Caps. Yeah. Columbo,
Okay.
or just one last question.
This is the second Columbo character I've had. Why did these things? Why does the city itself
They're
and Columbo
classics
come
for
up
a
twice?
reason.
They are. They are. Do the mythos of the other player. Okay, so mobility. Let's bring you to mobility on the sheet. Where's my Jessica Fletcher rep? Thank you. Thank you. I told you all this would be a fun stream. I didn't know we'd have the same viewership that we normally have, just for like discussing character concepts. I'm glad it's going well. Reed, your first question on mobility. What is your mythos' most useful form of movement?
I mean, I think it's got to be a car. Just because that's where we started with. And,
All right.
there's nothing more sort of fundamental than the car in the city. At least in North America. Maybe
Right.
if we were playing as Amsterdam, I would be a bicycle.
You want to be the myth of Amsterdam? Because apparently I can't stop you.
I don't know enough about Amsterdam.
Well, Amsterdam. Okay, so let's pick 2 questions for you. Sherlock Holmes read. Oh, yes. Okay. Your questions. How do you go into overdrive? I swear to God, if you come back and say overdrive is your answer. How do you go into overdrive? What allows you to avoid restraints or confinement? What secondary mode of movement have you learned to use? What style or technique of movement have you mastered? What specific harmful effects does your mobility allow you to avoid? How do you use your mobility to gain advantage in a fight? Well, I guess hitting them with a car would be helpful.
Very
What
handy.
allows you to move others? Car radio. How can you use your powers to restrain others' movements? What special resource does your mobility give you access to? Now, I'm amazed at how many of these could be answered with hit them with a car. So which of those questions speaks to you?
I like possibly how do you go into overdrive? Where possibly roads appear for me where I need them when I'm driving.
Oh.
Like just
Okay.
some nth dimensional fuckery.
Always a road.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that. And what other question?
So if I don't specifically answer this, does that mean that I'm otherwise unable to use it? Like, for instance, I've got a car. Do I need to have, for instance, what allows you to move others
No.
to be able to pack them in my car?
No.
Because I'm thinking how can you use your powers to restrain others' movement is just traffic jams.
Whoa.
Road
wow.
construction, that sort of thing.
So what would you put as a short answer?
Um,
Traffic jams, road construction, chaos of the city.
yeah.
I like chaos of the city. One second. Okay, so those are 3 answers. And then we can go over to Bastion if you'd like.
Okay.
One moment. Okay. The first question in Bastion. What quality or ability granted by your mythos most often protects you?
So,
It's a car.
I mean,
So many of these are covered by the fact that you can summon a car.
I think part of it though is going to be a
The power
problem
of Herbie the Love Bug.
as soon as I get into a building that starts to, not be such a thing.
I was thinking that. I'm like, if I have part of the mystery indoors, you're just done, my guy.
Well, that's why I
Okay.
was kind of thinking, at least in this aspect,
That's
it's
what Marie
just
Kondo's for.
I'm just durable. I've got the same kind of resilience as the concrete and rebar that the city's built of.
Okay, I'm gonna say tough as concrete. I'll put the city endures as the name of your card. You can change it whatever you want, but I just like that.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
the
that
answer to your
works.
first question is tough as concrete. Okay. The following question. You can always find a road. Is it the same road? Is it Danny? Danny the street would be a hell of a mythos. Allie, you're Danny the street now. Make it.
Only if I can also be a drag queen.
Yes. Don't bluff me on that. Yes, you can. Absolutely.
I mean, what part of this, the fact that you can be Loki or the city, makes being a drag queen implausible?
No, for my logos.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying. Yeah, no, that's approved so hard. That is so completely approved.
Not for my mythos.
Yeah, Mythos, Danny the street, Logos, a drag queen. Yes, completely, emphatically. Thank you, Perfect Zebulon. What? Here are the other questions for Reed. Reedleby Jones. What means do you have of extending protection to others? What particular trait of your defense makes it useful? Against what type of attack or influence is your defense especially effective? How can you use your defense actively? What secondary defense effect does your defense have? They say defense so much in this. What other effect or quality, not necessarily defensive, came with your defense? Who or what were your powers meant to protect? When in a clinch, how can you use your defense to change the odds in your favor? What tactics do you employ when you use your defense? If you have car powers, it's a good chance you can have drag powers. It is a car pun and a ruling. I wish I could highlight that one. I'm pinning that temporarily. That's getting pinned for 5 minutes.
I think when in a clinch, how can you use your defense to change the odds in your favor?
Mhm.
I like the idea of being able to physically, like, make the buildings actively defend me in some way. So, somebody's coming to drive a car into me, a chunk of a building falls out, or part of the street buckles up.
The city watches itself. The city protects its own. Oh my god.
And I think related to that, what means do you have of extending the... I can do sort of the same thing. I can use it to, defend against bigger threats.
Can you give an example, like how you'd summarize that, or?
Basically, if somebody is potentially going to be attacked or something like that, a chunk of rock falls off a building, or
so you can protect other people with your powers as well.
Yeah. It's at that point that a structural member fails or something.
So kind of like an ineffable luck of the city
Yeah.
in a way that defends and protects your characters. This is amazing. This is fantastic. All right, let's go to divination. I just realized that I said ineffable, and multiple people surely reacted like I was making a good omens comment towards Allie. I promise you, to my great shame, that not only do I not know good omens,
Oh dear.
but that was a reference to cats. So please, cancel me and put me out of my misery.
Nerd!
Because that wasn't good.
Cats isn't even Weber's best. What are you doing?
It's his worst.
Mm-hmm.
It's his worst.
Anyways.
Call me when you've
There
seen
sure are
Sunset
lots of
Boulevard, and then
cats.
we'll talk.
There sure are lots of cats, and they all desire suicide. The end. Biggest selling Broadway play of all time.
I mean, I have a cat. That does not sound wrong.
Whole play posting on the fact that it's too unmuddled of a story and existed before trigger warnings to really come across with how upsetting the premise is. This is an anti-cat stream now. If it's not D&D, it's not like something's going to make our viewership worse. So what was going to say? Divination. What was your divination ability? Let's go through the... Let's see, 1 second. Let's go through the questions for divination. What allows you to uncannily know things you wouldn't normally know? I will say that in the actual interest of making this game work, I will not allow suppositions of omnipresence because you are the city. Because that just comes in, you open the game, I'll be like, you've seen opens, you'll be like, I'm gonna roll to see where the crime was yesterday. Like,
what about...
I don't want to...
like anything that's physically on the streets, excluding inside the buildings, that sort of thing. Anything that's physically outside and in contact with the streets.
So you know the streets.
Yeah. I've got like
I'm
a
playing with
Marauder's
that.
map sort of
I am
awareness.
playing with fire on this one. my wife, no shit. She, oh god, she's in another room. I can't. I can't have my wife do my work for me. Honey, this fucker over here. He wants to use. She knows the game really well. City of Mist. He wants to use the divination book, and because he's the city, he wants to just claim that he knows what's happening on the streets, but he wants to be specific that it's the streets and no other part of the city. Do you think he's breaking the game, or do you think this is an interesting thing to play with? And he said he's talking like Marauder map status.
Oh.
This is my wife off camera, but she knows things.
Hi,
feel
wife off
like-
camera.
I feel like you should be able to allow it, but it's gonna like if you're using it like that, it's definitely gonna burn you out for the.
So use it, but so basically, so he could use. Okay, so basically, there's an ability. What she's referring to, there's an ability in the game called Burning for a Hit, where you use an ability to extra high success, and then it burns out, and you're not allowed to evoke that ability again for a very long time, like basically till a long rest. She's saying give you the ability, but if you want to truly use it to just slam open an answer, then maybe you need to burn for a hit or something like that, which is
Okay.
the thing.
So, in the terms of this, like just a radius, like
Street lamp.
Mhm.
It saw.
Oh my god. Kat suggested, I'm sorry, my wife suggested, bleep that. Wife suggested something that I think you'll like. Being able to talk to the city and ask it what it saw. Like literally being able to interrogate a street lamp. It's speak with property.
how would
What do you think? You don't have to go with it. I just think it's fascinating.
I feel like that would be very funny, and as much as I appreciate the idea of making you have to roleplay a street lamp,
I'll do it. You don't think I
I
have a street
feel-
lamp voice in this repertoire? I've been doing this for 20 years, man.
I feel like this is just a little too broad, too specific,
Alright.
too literal.
Okay, so you want to do
yeah.
you know the streets. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe just, I have a radius that I can operate around of, a couple of blocks.
I don't want. Okay. I don't want to get into the radius and stuff like that. Let's put a note here. I'll follow up with you later because I like this general idea. I want to figure out the minutia of how it works later. I like the general idea. I feel like if we get into numbers, quantifying it, then we're against the spirit of the game. So the thing that we should land on should be a phrase that we agree on. So let's go with that. So I'm going to read you the other questions on divination. What other type of knowledge can you access with your powers? What subject is the easiest for you to learn about? What items or substances serve as a conduit for your knowledge? What quality of your divination makes it especially effective? What advantages does your divination give you in a fight? In what ways have your normal senses been enhanced by your mythos? What creative ways of using your divination have you developed? How can you affect others with your power? What new frontier of knowledge lies at the edge of your divination?
I just feel like there's a terrible joke to be made there, and having what substances serve as a conduit for your knowledge, just having it like a street corner hot dog stand. Snarf down a hot dog, and my senses expand.
That's fantastic. I actually thought you were going in a different direction of that I like. That like I'm trying to think how to articulate this, but I was thinking about anything that's common on your streets, like if there's a hot dog vendor there every week, that. If there are kids that play outside every Wednesday, that. The police routes. Where the hydrant's broken. Anything that's just a recurring fact of the city, was kind of what I thought you were going to say.
Actually, I really like that. I like the idea that, as things happen, there's like a routine that develops. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm in tune with. So not necessarily knowing the specifics of, Bob Jones walked through here, but rather...
So we changing your answer A to this, the routine of the city?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that. I think that sort of restricts things back to a more playable level.
Yeah, because I was sitting here, I'm like, okay, I could just never have a crime on the streets ever again. Every crime has to take place inside a building, and they also have to exit through another building. Okay, so we have that. So any other questions interest you at this moment? Well, thank you all for coming. If anybody's viewing and has any questions or comments or ideas, feel free to throw them out, shout them out, or just write your own OC in the chat. I don't give a fuck. I want to see what you guys come up with.
I think. In what ways have your normal senses been enhanced by your mythos? I'm thinking maybe like blind sight. Just what's immediately around me, I can perceive, if not necessarily literally see.
Good. I like that. Blind sight, like, you know the sights and sound. You can always sense the city.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm right. By the way, I'm writing like flourishing phrases in all of the theme book. You guys can update them however you want. So, what's the other question you want to put?
I think I don't know if this would be divination, but in London they have what's known as the knowledge. It's something that you have to have in order to be one of the famous black cab drivers, which is to say that you have perfect knowledge of the fastest way to get from one place to the other without GPS, without anything like that. It kind of ties back into my movement ability, but something like that. Like I've got perfect knowledge of the map. If I want to find, John Smith's house, it's here.
By the way, Tammy, did you change your ear color pattern?
No, it's just
delightful.
random.
It's delightful. It's enchanting. All right. Allie, are you still looking at theme concepts? It's fine if you are. I'm just checking in.
I am trying to answer the questions for myself as best as I can.
For which mythos?
The other mother.
Perfect. Yes. Do that. Yes. And what's the logos? Is it going to be a child?
I was thinking urban spelunker.
Yes. Yes. Imagine me cupping your face right now. Yes. Okay. Yes. You thought I can't invade boundaries over a camera. So anyway, that's wonderful. Do you want to answer the questions with us right now, or do you want to continue answering them privately?
I could do some maybe, because I'm having trouble. Again, this is where I get hung up, which is I look at all of the example character sheets and they're all like really flowery and pretty and like have these like turns of phrases that are like interesting and useful, and I'm over here like, she has.
You don't need to stack up to them. You don't need to stack up to them. You need to be fun for you to play. Okay, here's the goal. Here's the goal. When your character is one that you want to commission art about and sit down next to somebody and go, can I tell you about my OC?
Oh, that'll never happen.
When you get there, that's when your character's ready in City of Mist.
You underestimate my sense of shame.
I've seen
at
your
having
Callista
passion
art.
about things.
I've seen your Callista art.
That took years. It took years to get me to this place.
Get there faster. So let's discuss as a I'll give Allie, you want to pick themes right now? Otherwise, I have something else I can do with the group.
I can pick themes.
Okay, what is your ratio of mythos to logos?
I think 2 to 2 makes the most sense to me.
Gamerbot asked if they can get the character builder in chat. I don't think that there is an official character builder, but I think if you go to the Get Started page, there's a free quick start. and this has the rules. So I'm going to put this in the chat. Shame and perfectionism compared. Okay, so you want 2 and 2 mythos. What is your first mythos you want?
Well, I was looking at adaptation.
Yes. Yes. Shall we start there? Questions. I don't know why I'm putting on my theater voice, like I'm hosting something.
Music, it's gotta be.
Yeah, it's the music. I think part of me feels like I need to make character creation a show to an extent. What mythos power allows you to respond differently to every situation?
I was thinking mimicry.
Okay.
So I don't know if this is exactly what it's going for or what you're going for, but like the ability to impersonate other people.
Okay, yeah, fuck, that's not... Sorry. I'm reacting to the other mother being creepy. Excellent, let's talk about the other questions. I'll read them to you. What happened to the music?
Is there?
Other questions. What narrow group of effects within your mythos' domain have you mastered? Next question. What specific manifestation of your mythos is your favorite? What circumstances enhance your ability to adapt? What situations do you have a quick solution for or are accustomed to? What do your powers naturally protect you from? What attitude or emotion lies at the core of your adaptive powers? What specific class of things or beings can you produce or summon? What strategy or combination of effects do you employ in battle? How can you enhance or weaken others with your powers?
Okay. So I think the way that I answer some of these is going to depend on how it ties into my other type,
Mhm.
which I was gonna go with relic, and I think that might have more to do with like H
What's your relic gonna be?
needle.
Oh, I am uncomfortable, and that is a compliment.
Yeah, like needle and thread, you know.
Yeah, I know. Because your character's gonna fuck us all up.
Go sew buttons on their eyes.
I guess my relic could be buttons.
No, you keep it needle. That's good.
Okay, so for this one, then I'll save that for the other one, and then for
Mhm.
this one, I would say, so the, what is it? G, attitude or emotion.
Mhm.
So like the needing to be needed, codependency.
That's fair.
Is
So
that-
I like I like that. But my question is, when you're evoking that, so basically, what situations would you use that to fuel a power? To maybe make people like you?
Yeah, like to make
Mhm.
people like you or to make them do what you want. Like I guess power would be kind of a
I'm putting I must be loved.
that's a good one.
Yeah, it's yours now. You
Also,
can keep it. It's free.
the mirror just went right up.
Mhm.
Did not have to happen that quick. And then maybe F. Naturally protect you from suspicion.
Oh, wow. I made a character in Pathfinder that I deliberately made to be tragic and sympathetic. And when I told everybody the concept, because I share things everywhere, multiple people spoke to me about how obvious it was that I translated myself into a character. and one person just flat out asked me if I was okay, in the sense that I don't seem to realize that I put my own mental health issues into a game character.
You okay, bro?
Yeah, he was like, you don't seem to realize what you did, so are you doing all right now? Was like what he messaged me. Our characters tell on themselves. It happens. So you have those. You have avoid suspicion. I must be love. Perfect mimicry. Oh wow. I'm gonna make your adaptation name everything you need. Your relic. I'm gonna put a simple needle. Let's go over to relic. I didn't want to take up all your guys' time because I did want this to only be like 2 or 3 hours. If you guys are good with going a little bit longer, we can, but that's up to you as a group. I want each of you, actually, can each of you message me privately how comfortable you're willing to go tonight? Because I don't want that to be discussed on stream, since it's like actual show business.
I'm told there's no business like it.
No. Well, no business that I know. I don't know the rest of that song. I don't know a single other line from that song.
Everything about it is appealing. Everything the people will know.
Those would have been great jokes to make in there. One second. All right. I was gonna, since I kept giving Tammy weird names, I was gonna mash Allie's name with Tammy, but then that just comes up with Allie, and I was like, oh, damn it.
You can't do it the other way either, because then it's just Tammy.
Tamale.
Ooh.
All right, Allie. In terms of your needle, speaking about your needle in this context, what purpose was your mythos made? What was the needle made to do?
Create things? I don't know if that's...
What kinds of things? People, places, things, create objects? I mean, I'm not trying to whittle you down. I just want to make sure
No,
we're
no, no.
understanding each other.
I know, I'm trying to think. Like... maybe, like, to create creatures?
Oh, yes.
Make button-eyed mimics of people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Little
Oh
dolls
my
that
God.
spy on you.
Not like voodoo dolls, but something like that.
Yeah, like little dolls that spy on you and look just like
I
you.
don't like this. Okay, we're gonna finish
Damn.
Allie's questions and we're gonna go on break.
This is gonna be
Fun
so
fact
weird
for those
and
watching, my dog's name is Coraline.
Awesome. Oh, neat. Oh.
So I got my questions cut off on this one a little bit, so some of them I'm gonna read you and you're not gonna see on the sheet.
Okay.
So, that's so weird. Okay, so apparently that wasn't the actual answer, like wasn't on the cards. It's like to help you create your character idea. So the first question that goes on your card is, what is the main useful feature or part of your, like, okay, make button-eye mimics. Okay, cool. Here are the other questions. Name another way in which you use the same feature. Another question, what essential useful quality lies at the core of your relic? What cosmetic attributes does your relic possess? What other feature, part, or item does your relic include? What is revealed to you through the use of your relic? What or who was your relic most designed to affect? What have you learned from your relic? What happens when your relic goes into overdrive? What aspect or element of your relic are you only beginning to unlock?
Well, I was looking at the essential useful quality. Well, I don't know if that's quite right. Maybe what is revealed to you through the use of your relic.
All right, what's revealed to you?
Well, I'm reading some of the examples, and I'm thinking like I can't think of a good way to phrase it, but like essentially like a limited use of the scry spell, basically, is what I'm thinking. Like,
Give me an example.
okay, so
Describe a narrative moment.
I'm just gonna reference the fucking movie. So she makes
That's what I
dolls
want.
that look like the children, and then the kids carry the dolls around with them, and she looks at their life through those dolls' eyes. And that's how
Yeah.
she knows how to mimic. So I'm thinking like some limited clairvoyance of like through something that has been created with it.
Okay. Okay, I put sees through my work's eyes. Absolutely. What other question do you want to answer?
Can't remember the ones after F.
I can read them to you.
Oh, you know what? Actually, what happens when it goes into overdrive?
Mhm.
Maybe I start to unravel?
No, good things.
What does that
Like,
mean?
what it-
Good
like-
things. Oh, like when it's like operating
What is the
maximum.
extreme Gear 5 ultimate form of your ability?
Puppets. Full-blown puppets.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, but I think it make button eye mimics. What's bigger than this?
So
Like, How about you make
That's-
worlds? Doesn't she make the whole city?
she does make worlds.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
Is that okay with you?
That's not game breaking?
Reed is the city,
I know, and you gave him a lot of shit for it.
but he got it. He got it.
Yeah, but
I
you didn't
mean,
give me that. I want to know how to use it.
He
If you wanna
stuck
make
his
it
hand through
less-
all of that shit, it came out with a golden prize. That's what he did.
I mean,
Let me watch
maybe
the
you
video.
can just full on just take people over, like full possession of a person.
Fully possessed people make artificial rooms, make illusions rooms, create illusions, make a room to a place that doesn't exist.
I like that.
Which one?
I like
All.
artificial locations, artificial places.
Artificial places and things.
Stuff.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just every line of my thing is just gonna say I can do stuff. I'll tell you when it's relevant. What I can do. Just trust me.
Just trust me, bro.
Just trust me.
I'm putting Stitch such incredible things.
Oh.
All of you have your mythos figured out. The logos we might cut for time, just because you guys have a rhythm for it. We're not done yet on the stream. We're going to take I'm going to say 10-minute break. Is that okay with everybody? 10 minutes.
Mhm.
There's a little bit of paperwork left to do for fleshing out other ideas. Logos, I think, is going to be a sort of a downhill thing that you guys can probably do by yourselves between the sessions. So I'm going to see you all at about 8:08. If anyone has any questions, chat, let me know. Yeah, Reed, take us away, you beautiful
Alright.
man.
I will just put out that I only have a 15-minute timer, so we'll be back.
Okay, I'll
when
see you
that
guys in
reaches
15
5.
minutes. I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. I forgot that was a thing.
Back in a bit.
Hello, you said we're gonna be back, and I just sat there and started thinking about Twitter or whatever. I just completely forgot the opening.
He thought I was
Is
joking.
Nice times good? Yes. Oh,
Oh gosh.
well, welcome back to Roll for Bull. We are doing City of Mist. I'll put you guys on the cover page. We are going over character creation on City of Mist. We have 3 heroes here. I believe a mythos of Loki and a logos of a professional organizer. We have a mythos of the city. You know that city. And the logos of the taxi driver, correct?
That's
Mhm.
kind of that or
Tentatively.
Private Eye. I'm
Oh, Private Eye. You mentioned Private Eye. Yes, Private Eye.
yeah. I'm kind of
We have a
going
myth-
between the two of them.
We have a mythos of the other mother.
A taxi driving
Coraline.
Columbo.
Why isn't there one of those? That would be such a. Wouldn't that be such a great weekly series? Someone who's listening to the people talk in the car and solving their crimes for them.
Yeah.
Or solving the. No, that's
It's
a
like
genuinely solid idea.
Backseat detective, not an armchair detective. A
Backseat detective.
Copyright.
Band name called
Like,
it.
I'm dead. I'm completely serious that would just be such a great show. Allie, Coraline's other mother, and a logos of, you said, a city spelunker, correct?
I did, but since we talked about it, and I'm gonna do an au pair.
An au pair. So you won't be two mythos, but you'll be two logos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What a dumb joke, Ben. No one finds you entertaining. Okay, listen. Now, as I told this lovely crew, we might not have time to do all of character creation. We're skipping logos for now, because logos follows a lot of the same rhythms of mythos, and I wanted to go about other things. A game mechanic I told them that I want to tell the viewers now. When I explained that this is a game of imagination, creativity, and cinematic moments, it feels relevant to explain the most sacred and terrifying action in City of Mist. They heard me say this in very dry terms off stream, and now they can hear the jazz hands version. There's a move in City of Mist called Stop Holding Back. It actually has the periods in it, the stop holding back, period. Stop holding back is when your character unleashes their true power. When this happens, you don't have to quantify or qualify whatever you want to do. You can do anything that the vast height of the highest echelon of your mythos can possibly do. Tammy's Loki can create chaos throughout the entire city. Reed's being as the city can make buildings collapse or rise on the spot. Hell, widen the city and add a new district. Allie can create, as the other mother, an alternate city, an alternate dimension, a perfect clone of somebody if she wants to. Stop Holding Back has no limits, but it does have a cost. The GM has a table where they agree on the cost to something, or they have a table that they select of the potential costs based on the scale of what the player is doing. The player then looks at the table, sees if the risk is worth it, and if they agree, they roll the dice. Literally and metaphorically, because if they succeed, they pull off what their character was doing. If they fail, I didn't mention this part to my players, if they roll 6 or below on a 2d6, then the GM gets to describe how their powers go wrong, and this is the important part. The GM has all of the same narrative freedom and flair that the players were about to use on the GM. So that's fun. Just a giant skyscraper that looks like a cock and balls. I just came back to that from my whole presentation, and I love this group. Backseat detective, taxi cab confession. If you don't get that joke, you're innocent and you shouldn't get it. So here's another theme card, not for Reed, not for Allie, not for Tammy, but for all of you. See, there's a part of your character sheet that is united. In fact, it explains how you're united. It is the crew theme. It is the concept and the bond which drives you three to work together and solve crimes. Maybe you were united by a common tragedy. Maybe you all had the exact same pet goldfish that was murdered 3 times somehow. Maybe you all work at the same office and trade stories. Maybe you all have a common enemy. Maybe you also have a common cause. Allie actually played in a team before where their crew was a true crime podcast group made of millennials that got over-involved in their research. Being millennials who actually broke crimes and published them on social media, they did in fact name their crew Cancel Culture. And it was incredible.
Didn't Disney make a series out of that? We're watching it, Reed.
I don't
Wait,
know, but I'll look it up to see if I
Only Murders
can.
in the Building?
Yeah.
That's not Disney, is it?
No, it's Stars.
But it's on
Oh.
Disney Plus.
It's on Hulu,
Sorry, I
yeah.
should say.
Wait, Early Murders in the Building's on Disney+. Oh, you Canadians.
I did it first, for what it's worth.
Tammy just pointed out the Only Murders in the Building is Cancel Culture. I don't know if you heard the cat just go, yes, it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Her face, she looked at me like, what? Yes, that thing. So
Your wife is awesome. We love her.
she's wonderful. I married the hell out of this woman. I'll do it again. Don't you try and stop me.
Why would we? Do you know something we don't know?
Oh, her crimes. So what I was gonna say, the
Your crimes.
I need a crew theme from you three. It can be anything, and any one of you can suggest it, and there are no bad ideas.
Now this is tricky because this is a pretty diverse group of people.
Really, because all of you spend your time getting to know the city. One of you is an organizer. One of you is a city spelunker. One of you is a private detective. All of you spend your
Au pair.
time. Au pair. Sorry, au pair. You're right.
I can be a city spelunker if it works better.
No. You change a thing for anybody else. You change for you. We're skipping straight to the end of every after-school special. You change for you. And also remove your glasses because they objectively make you look less pretty. That's also the after-school specials for some reason.
I don't have my glasses here.
So,
Wait, am
what
I
could
the only one who
possibly have
doesn't
united you?
just wear glasses as the norm?
Jen.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I meant
Jen
like, of
should, but she doesn't.
those of us here.
Mm-mm.
So,
Don't ask me to read anything on the screen.
what would be a common cause you guys could have? I've had common causes of like, you know, I've had multiple groups make defending the little guy against, you know, the man, and the powers of as one character in Secret World would say, the powers of old and greed.
I don't think this is what you're going for, but I'm trying to think of things that could connect our characters.
If
And
it
one
can,
thing that-
I'm going for it.
One thing that pops to mind is like maybe a missing child.
So a specific case, a specific cause.
Mm-hmm.
Fatima, hello. These players, these nerds, these vagabond freaks that I love, are making characters for City of Mist, a highly cinematic mystery tabletop RPG. This is session 0, and they were kind enough to let us stream the session 0 before the actual game. For some reason, some people seem to be considered content, judging by the numbers, which is surprising.
In that it's not 0.
This is consistent with our other streams. Like, you know, you guys, so we do talk about numbers a little bit. Like, it's not our focus, but like a little bit. And like when episodes are like deviate in some way, we always take a small hit. Like if we change this time slot, we do a different storyline, there's always a small hit to the number. And I don't know why session 0 for not D&D is actually doing well. I'm very confused about that. I'm just
Because
gonna
I
spend the rest of
didn't
the campaign doing
change the tags this time. We're still streaming under the D&D tag, even though the game has been changed.
You fucker. Has that been the tags?
Maybe.
Manipulation.
Okay. Well, thank you all for taking a look behind the camera with me. Fatima's going to lose all the players in TPK, she says. So let's figure out... I like the idea of you guys being united by a specific crime. And then, so this can be the story of that crime, and I have a few cases I could adapt that way. I know a very specific case I can adapt that way. Hold on, no, before I get caught up in this, because I'm going to. Reed, Tammy, do you guys have any ideas?
I was just going to say that we would have met throughout our jobs. Obviously, one's a taxi driver. I've taken the taxi on my way to a job of a house that needs organizing. They've got like an upside down pantry or no pantry. Or even Ali's character being an au pair. She's in a household saying, oh my God, you guys really need help here. I know a person that can help you. And I guess just we've
The
kind
same
of
clientele.
networked.
Absolutely. The people who hire au pairs and the people who hire professional organizers are the same people.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Well, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
also, if I do go PI, then,
Mhm.
you know, that's another thing. You know,
Nanny
fuck the rich.
cams,
Fuck the rich
The-
is where we're at.
the
here.
nanny cam things, and yeah. So either way, we take a cab, or we've been involved with the PI if you decide to go that way, based on crazy shit going on in these ritzy people's households.
Fatima says that my audio is lower than the others for some reason, Reed. don't know
You're
if you're catching
coming
that.
up at the same level on the
Yeah.
volume mixer for me, so
We'll figure. I'll test it out. Fatima, I'll see if I can figure something out.
What
You're all
if-
when the neighborhood watch came together because of crime Ben was talking about.
What if Reed was hired to investigate an affair between one of the employers and, like, Tammy or something?
Oh, wait, so you want wait, what an affair with Tammy?
Like as a PI, like, what if, like, the wife went to the PI and was like, I think my husband's having an affair because he's kept our professional organizer on for, like, way too long.
So you
know what I mean?
think? Okay. I'm
just trying to
Don't-
come up with.
no. I like this. I don't want one of you guys to be the suspect in a case in any conceivable way.
No, I just meant, like, what if that was how we met? Not necessarily what is happening now.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
yeah. Okay. That's, Tammy's mom says I pushed away from the PC. Okay. I'm theatrical. Okay. So you guys. So basically, we're circling with specific details, and I like the specific details, but you guys are kind of agreeing with more or less that circumstances put you all in the same foyer of the same rich bastard.
yeah, I think so.
And then you. Okay. This is the third group I've had who said, "Why don't we get united around our hatred of the rich and desire to protect the underdog?"
What if we just met on an elevator?
That seems
In,
unlikely.
like,
And
a
something
really-
happened.
In a really, really fancy building.
yeah.
Like a murder.
A murder most foul.
So you guys are you guys basically we're gonna call them the Havishams is gonna be the name of the rich people, Havishams. I want it to sound a little bit like you're worried you're having a stroke when you hear the name. So you guys worked on a case, maybe Reed had to investigate. Tammy, what do you think? Being investigated you were investigated under suspicious activity. Does that sound interesting to you? And it's not to say that you did it, just that happened to you at some point. Okay.
I was one of the suspects because they didn't know what the hell was happening. It's just, in my case, the wife kept fucking changing her goddamn mind to what color plastic containers she wanted.
Amazing. I love it.
Will Jen be doing this stream as well? Jen
No, we
actually
deported her.
Wow.
Reed! Fuck!
What's the opposite of please clip that?
Cancel Reed.
Edit out. Cut and floor.
Jin actually had personal business to take. I always put a joke here, but now I'm scared to. Jin had personal matters to take care of, and we'll be doing those. And I've wanted to show this group City of Mist for a while, so they agreed to live stream themselves learning the game over the next 4 weeks. So that's where we are. Jin will not be there. But really, aren't we all Jin? Isn't Jin just a state of mind? When you make an inappropriate joke at a bad time, is that not Jin?
The real Jen was inside us all along.
That's a different stream. So, and that's how that's me Jenning right now. So, yeah, Game Rusted, there's our joke. I knew the dame was trouble from the moment she walked in my office with a pair of Uzis strapped to her shoes. Okay, Tammy, question for you. This is just pure world building. You were investigated for a crime as one of the suspects that Reed looked into. Did you do it?
Nuh-uh. Or did I?
Allie, you were in the house during the investigation for the crime. Did you do it? No, I can't hear you. I need audio.
Maybe. Depends what was the crime.
I don't know. You tell me. You're the criminal. We're world building here.
I could see my characters stealing from their employers.
What would they steal?
Jewelry.
Oh, I totally would have stolen. I'd be eating some of them snacks in the pantry.
It's a very
Maybe an
different
unopened-
scale here.
You don't know what kind of snacks they are.
The caviar didn't fit in the container. We needed to make it less.
There's
Groceries
Cadbury
is
eggs and
so
there's Fabergé
expensive
eggs.
now.
Okay,
But
Here's
yes,
my
it didn't
thought.
fit in the container.
here's my thought. I wonder what you guys think. Reed, you were paid to investigate crimes of things going missing in the house. It could have been snacks, it could have been jewelry. You know, they're both equally valuable. You were investigating, and as you were investigating, you discovered something interesting. Not about the au pair, who's just a little suspicious, spends her time watching people while she stitches and sews on her breaks. Not about the organizer, who seems to have a little bit of a sense of mischief about her, but generally does a very good job. They both have a little air of secrecy and suspicion, but no. Your intrigue locked onto the heads of the house, the Havishams themselves. After working with this organizer and this au pair, asking them the right questions, you realize that these are the people that should be brought down. Instead of taking their job and investigating the help, you had them arrested for their many crimes that they were getting away with. This bond brought the three of you together with an interest and a knack for being undetected, unseen by the rest of the city, while able to see all of their sins yourself. So you have your day jobs, you do your things, you solve crimes, you look into affairs and organize. But each of you knows that there is, more or less, a group text if anyone sees something suspicious. How does this sound for a crew theme for the three of you?
Sounds unifying.
Tammy, what do you think?
I'm okay with that. Sure.
You guys have
I'm
any notes?
Sometimes I
Anything?
may do it. Sometimes I may not.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm obsessed with like Tammy being like, I stole snacks, and me being like, you know what? Fuck jewelry. I stole identities.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Tammy's like, I confess, I've stolen snacks from time to time. And Alex like,
Here are my 6 IDs with photos of all my employees.
Oh, fuck. Oh, boy.
So I like this. So what's the name of your group? These people, Tammy's mom says the Undetected Detectives. Gamerbot says just the Undetected.
Mhm.
I like
I
the
didn't think this in a joke,
Undetectives.
Beldam. Millions of people and stuff for every year. The Undetectives.
Mhm.
I like it. Undetectives. Yep.
What do
Okay.
you think?
But I am a detective.
The
Come on, you're
Undetectives.
breaking my balls here.
You hang out with us. We outnumber ya.
Oh my god,
Oh, they
please
all-
talk like that for the entire
I
time.
cannot.
Please.
I can't keep
Please,
it
I'm
up.
begging.
I can't. I literally cannot.
Come on,
Oh
give
my
us your
God.
best friend, Drescher.
Why? No, that's no, that was the other one. That
Janice.
was in Friends. Yeah,
That's Janet
sorry.
from Friends.
Listen, you fuckerinos, we're in the end game for design here. And like I said, there's things we're gonna have to discuss between sessions, but right now, 3 questions for the crew theme. And by the way, the crew theme is different because you all share one card, and any one of you can invoke this card for a decent boost, and then it's gone for the rest of the session. So consider it almost a shared communal pool of inspiration points for the undetectives and the detective. So I'm going to list 3 questions. Each of you secretly hold on to 1 or 2 that you want to answer yourself, and then I'll let each of you answer 1, and those will be our themes. So the questions are: how do you help, assist, or support one another? Where do you meet, work, rest, or prepare for action? What have you learned to do well together? Who is guiding, backing, or assisting your operation? How do you get around? What environments or situations are you most comfortable in? What special sources of information do you have? What sort of reputation or name have you made for yourselves? What approach or tactic do you share in tackling challenges? What what kind of special gear, resource, or power is at your disposal? Now, each of you hold on to a question or two. I'm going to ping one of you at random and probably throw this whole thing into the air. Tamsin, which of these do you have?
I want to say, shit. What was the one that was kind of like?
Do you want to
leader?
say shit?
No.
Just for the record.
The one whoever gives the orders or the leader, I would say that it would probably be the defective.
Adrian Monk is a myth.
I'd say probably the detective would be the one kind of giving us our leadership roles and our undercover kind of duties on what we need to kind of try to figure out and find out
Sorry,
for him.
You're in charge again.
You want Reed to
Yeah.
be in charge. So I like that. But the thing is, this should probably be someone outside of you, because it has to be something that you guys can invoke.
Oh, it comes from Central Command then.
Or you can invoke it as like maybe basically say Reed's expertise, and like all of you guys can invoke it as something that Reed like planned out or something, you know? Like you can invoke a point saying Reed told us what to do in the situation or something like that.
Not my character,
someone
just
else.
me.
Oh shit, then I don't know. Go to someone else.
I put in their Discord. I put questions for all of you guys to look at.
Thank you.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'm gonna roll. Reed.
How do we get around? I think I'm
Hmm?
the driver. I'm the getaway driver. I mean, it makes sense.
Did you name yourself? Did you make the second answer to this, Reed? We just went over. Can we say getaway car?
Car. Just
Yeah.
car.
I'm
Alright.
thinking it's this beaten down 1950s Packer that's just
Yeah.
barely keeping alive.
All right. Somehow functional jalopy. I like multiple times people just said, you know, our crew answer is Reed. Fatima, I would love to play. I want to play with you, Fatima, sometime. Reed, gamer, I want to play with you too. I love City of Mist. Do you guys see why I keep saying this is my favorite thing? If I can find another table where you guys can sit at, I'll let you know. I need to figure out time. What?
Desperately need someone to clip that the answer to all of our questions is Reed, because that's literally this entire game.
That's been Odyssey, yeah.
normal. Who's the captain? I don't know. Go talk to you, Femian.
The jalopy is powered by Muppets. I actually really like the
Oh my
idea of a car whose mythos is the Muppets.
That's amazing.
I actually kind of want to do that. I'm gonna think about that. It just like goes in weird directions. Okay. I'm sorry, I got distracted by how much I love that.
You have to, if you really want to go fast, everybody in the hook car has to go, hey!
Allie, do you have an answer to the question?
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
I think what environments or situations are you most comfortable in? And I would say environments that we're most comfortable in would probably be like homes of clients. So like well-to-do sort. Is that
Yeah. Which answer question is that?
F?
Okay.
Oh wait, I see. This is not. I'm reading the answers that they gave, and that's
No,
not.
that works. That works.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Let me see. Let me figure out how to phrase it.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Whatever you say, boss.
I'm putting under the noses of the elite.
Ooh.
Yeah, go Ben. And Tam, do you have an answer to a question? Driven by two old geezers.
What special sources of information do you have? So would that mean like that is a resource we have access to?
Yeah,
Not
like an informant.
specifically.
Okay, for every power tag you guys write in the game, you should think about how you could invoke it to allow you to do something. So like if you
Mhm.
have like if you have like a network of people, you can like invoke that tag to like talk to them or something like that.
How about potentially so for that one there, uh for G, I would say maybe we have a mutual connection of like the somebody we know, which of course we never name names, who's involved in the CD dark web kind of thing and can literally pull the secrets. Like we do a good job, but sometimes we just need that one damn incriminating nugget of something, and we can call upon this person
You
who
have a
has
secret
access.
fourth member of the team?
We have
I'm
a
not against it.
service. We have a service that maybe our fearless leader detective has kept out of a prison or a conviction with the promise of being our secret informant.
Listen to
We
me.
can't
Listen to
we
me.
can't name names, but the initials are JEN.
Damn it, you beat me to it. I was gonna say it was a hacker. Is a hacker who goes by the name of Genesis or Jin for short.
Amazing. Better. Yours is better. I shouldn't try.
I don't know, just a thought.
No, I like it. What do you guys think?
Man in the chair. Yeah.
Mm. That
Right,
when all
so
else
that's where
fails,
Jin
we
is.
can call upon. In the
You said
dark room.
we're making good time for a continental trip. I like that. I was gonna say, well, I guess now we know who the criminal is. Yeah, the one who told you could drive. So, you guys have your theme. You guys have your crew. So the two things you have left to do are your weakness tags, and we're not going to do these on the stream. I put the player's guide in the book. You guys can go over this in the spare time, or I'll send you screenshots and notes on how to do it. But on each of your theme books, there will be a questions to help you figure out a weakness. The weakness is something that you get experience points for allowing me to invoke, and it hurts your dice rolls. Like maybe your character is a coward, and if the move requires bravery, you can get a negative bonus to that, but attention to your experience points to your ability. You also need to figure out how to summarize the values of your character at the top of the card. On your theme card, let me see if I can find a good example here. Let me see if I can find a good example. So, the mysteries on your character, on your mythos, they have mysteries they want to know about the human world. Sort of Ariel type things. What are they? They're curious about something. Maybe the city wants to know more about the people within it. Maybe Other Mother wants to know what it's like truly to be loved. Maybe Loki wants to know why people have such petty little squabbles and delusions of grandeur, especially whenever he's truly the one that matters. So under your mythos, for each of the themes that you have, you can write a mystery that your character is trying to solve. When you move closer to understanding that aspect of yourself or the world, you get experience points. If you see the answer and avoid it, you fade. Fading can destroy a theme and replace it with something else. For example, and I will pick the Other Mother here in this instance, if she has the mythos of everything you need, and her mystery might be, what does it take to be truly loved? Let's say you guys find out that the villain is truly interested and attracted to this character and wants to know them better. Allie's character can have a choice of solving the crime and moving ahead, or maybe allowing herself to be appreciated by somebody. If she chooses to solve the crime, her theme starts to fade. If it fades all the way, she loses that ability, that part of her mythos, that wonder dies. So think about what the mystery is. On your logos, you have your identity. The logos identities are very similar, but they're not mysteries. They're statements of who you are. They are not up for debate. They are things that you know about yourself. Being an organizer is not a mystery. I am a professional organizer. I keep things structured, is an identity. So think about the mysteries of your mythos, the identities of your logos, your weaknesses. I'll go over this with you all over the next week. Then on Monday, viewers, we'll begin our mystery. Something only these three people can solve, something that they came into because no one else could be trusted. Not the police, not the neighbors, just three people that care and won't be noticed by the corrupt, by those too elite and too smug to see that justice is right around the corner. The city is full of sin, but with any luck, these three will make it a little bit more livable. I'll see you all next week, but in the meantime, do you three have anything you'd like to say?
The whores and the criminals down in the gutter will look up to me and whisper, "Save us." I'll say, "No."
You need to say yes for the campaign to work, though. That's important.
The last episode, you get to say no. Oh my god, this is gonna be weird. I'm looking forward to it.
It's very weird. It can be very hard for people to wrap their head around because it is a purely narrative system with almost very few stats. But honestly, I ran it. I did my first big fight scene with this system last Friday, and it was my favorite fight I've run in a long time. I think it does what 7C wanted to do but couldn't pull off. And don't clip that. Don't. But
That must have
yeah.
hurt you to say.
So much. All right, I will see you all later. Everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.